Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at the current rank 1 in the world team. Not legend yet, but 30 points away from Jackal Loco 2. Congrats to them to hit rank 1 in the world. Gonna be interesting who's going to be the first who gonna hit a legend. I don't know if there is someone who already hit legend at this point. Could well be the case. But anyway, we want to take a look at their team here today. We don't have the exact team. The reason for this is I don't have charge TMs. Like, it's literally the main reason. So, what did they have different? They had not the Shadow version of Sandslash. They had the normal version of Sandslash with Shadow Claw, which I also would have. But my one has Bulldoze, and I rather would have the Shadow version with Drill Run instead of the normal version of Bulldoze. But this is like stuff that we can take a look at as well in today's video on how much that mattered. And then we're going to have Mana Bus, where they are running Foul Play Air Slash instead of Dark Pulse Air Slash. Foul Play you're going to get at the same time as the Aerial Ace. It's going to be a bit better than the Aerial Ace, generally speaking, but Dark Pulse is doing more damage, so it's kind of give or take. It will most likely not destroy the team directly here. I would assume that the Shadow version of Sandslash is a bit more of a difference compared to the normal version. So yeah, that is kind of what it is. Anyway. So we want to take a look here today at this team here, which is going to be the current rank 1 in the world team. I'm really curious who's going to be legend first, but we're going to have the Drapion as a safe stop. The Pokemon in the back here, of course, going to be the Alolan Sandslash. And this is going to be a very cool team because you're going to have here the lead. It's going to be great against ground types. You have the safe stop. It's going to have access to Awkward Tail to also bait out the ground types and still punish them. In the back, we're going to have the Sandslash, which is really good in the current meta. So, how did I do? Well, let's take a look at the first, next opponent here. You're going to see a Weezing in the lead. You're going to see here as well a very interesting Pokemon stopping in soon. They're going to go for Charge Move first, which is kind of interesting. I can let the move go through. It's going to be resisted. They're going to swap in now. We have a little bit of lag into the Sableye. And yeah, that is a team that I showcased literally yesterday. So, could very likely be a viewer of mine. If you are, shouts to you. Thanks so much for using my team. If you know, you know. We're going to have most likely already the guess what it's going to be in the back here. A Pokemon that recently got buffed completely out of nowhere and was a very strong Pokemon there. And I could have most likely guessed it already at this point, but I could not imagine that they had actually the team that I used yesterday. So I'm not playing around and to the point where I should have most likely played around with. But yeah, I could have tried to force maybe Switch Advantage or something like this. But they have Thievel in the back, which is going to be a really bad matchup for our Sandslash because our fast move is resisted. They're going to have the same pacing as we have. But they're going to do so much more fast move pressure. Like, look at this. Like, Thievel is honestly such a strong Pokemon now in the meta. People were kind of joking in the last video as well, being like, yes, Pokemon not going to be that good. You sure about that? I honestly think this Pokemon is amazing. And I do kind of want to play this Pokemon a few more times as well. Because even here against the Mana Bus, they're going to have access to Play Rough. They played it, by the way, very, very well here. They got the most amount of energy, so they could get to the Play Rough here in time, which is going to save them the game. If they would have not got to the Play Rough, we would have won the battle, because we would have been able to go for 2 Aerial Aces against the opponent's Weezing. But like this, we are not going to be able to. So they played that really, really well, and shouts to you, well done. Nothing I can say otherwise. And we're sadly going to lose the battle here, just barely though. But yeah, just because they played this really, really well. Next opponent, we're going to have the Drapion in the lead. Shadow Drapion is going to be a very solid matchup here. Again, there's no difference on if you have Foul Play or not, because you're not going to go for Foul Play anyway. Air Slash plus the Aerial Ace is going to be great though. It allows us to do some solid damage against the opponent. We didn't hit one bubble there, that's going to be a bit annoying for us, but we're going to try our best to go for another one afterwards. It doesn't really matter if you hit one bubble or less. I think one bubble is around 4% less damage. I think it is kind of like this. I actually didn't hit 2 bubbles there as well, which doesn't matter because it would have knocked them out anyway, no matter how many bubbles I really hit there, as long as I hit some of them. So like it didn't really matter there at all. But I should most likely be a bit better with the flying type animation there. I think, yeah, the first one was definitely on accident. The second one I was just like, yeah, knocked them out anyway. Anyway, as well, we're going to have here the Feraligatr against us, where we can go for a crunch, which is going to get us the defense drop onto them, which is really, really cool as well. This we're going to be getting, not the KO. I thought the Awkward Tail would be enough here, but I'm actually going to try to realign myself. Let's see if this was a smart idea or not. the opponent's going to have in the back the Drapion again. And with it, I'm kind of like thinking they're very likely going to be quite weak to us, right, in the back. So I'm going to use a shield again. They're going to have the Superior, and the entire team beats Superior. Like, Superior has no play whatsoever here. So, yeah, this is going to be kind of nice. We're going to just go ahead and let the Aerial Ace go through, and we're going to have, you know, the Sandslash coming in, where we're going to be able to just get the forfeit from the opponent. Next up, we're going to have here the Togetic. Togetic is going to be great. We're going to have the Marowak coming in next. We're gonna be able to go for one Awkward Tail here real quick as well. This is going to be fine. This is going to allow us to get some damage onto them. And we are going to see here that they're going to get the KO, of course, against us. We could, of course, use a shield, but it doesn't really matter too much. It doesn't really work out that well for us. And so we're going to try to go for the full farm down. They deny one fast move here, which is really unfortunate. Like, this is, of course, just us lagging in turn somewhere. We would have been able to farm them down one before, but like it doesn't really matter as well. Like, they got like one more mud step instead of that. But this was also, again, another battle where the opponent played this perfect. Like, literally... Like, you're gonna see it. It's just crazy on how good the opponent was. Like, that is kind of what I want to say with that one. As you will see here, the opponent is gonna now go up against our Lapras. They're gonna be able to go for a charge move here. It's going to be the Ice Punch coming through. Gonna get the shield, which is great for us. But as we'll see as well, they're gonna go for the Sparkling Area. We have to use a shield. We kind of want to go for the Dark Pots that we have stored here, which is going to be enough to knock them out. But as we will see, they're going to let the move go through, which I actually didn't expect. I thought they would use the shield to try to keep the Lapras alive, but they didn't want to. And so what we're gonna be able to do here is we're going to be able to go for the Aerial Ace. We're going to have to let the move go through from the opponent here as well. This is gonna be the Dazzling Gleam that's coming through, and they completely undercharged it. They undercharged it perfectly that I just barely couldn't get to the Aerial Ace, but them getting the full farm done, like absolutely on point. There was no way better to do it from the opponent, and this was necessary for the opponent because only because I did this, they were able to outspeed me here now. I would have won CMP tie. Absolutely well done there. Perfect undercharge to get the perfect amount of energy to get the KO here at the end. Well done. And that's the thing as well. The thing that really annoys me when I lose in Go Battle League is only really if it's down to like lag and stuff like this. Because it's out of my control. It's not because the opponent plays well. Just because of an error basically. And that is something that kind of is a bit annoying. Also, like, of course, if you get like crazy unlucky with drops from attacks. But even then, like, it's part of the game at least there. But yeah, for stuff like this where the opponent plays like absolutely well, I'm just more impressed. Like, I was like sitting there and like, absolutely well done. Like, there's nothing else that I can say about that. So yeah, the last opponent played so well. Anyway, we're going to have Diggersby against us here. I kind of dislike on how strong that matchup is now for Diggersby. Like, back in the day, Manabus was one of the best answers to Diggersby. That is gone. Like, that is absolutely gone. We're gonna be able to let the move go through here. Fire Punch is coming in, but yeah, they're gonna be able to get us super low. Also, why is there fire in Diggersby's face? It's gonna be gone now, but yeah, I find it a bit annoying on how strong the matchup is now because yeah, Quick Attack got buffed like long ago, to be fair at this point. Fire Punch got buffed recently, and all of a sudden this matchup is a very solid one for Diggersby. Like, the Fire Punch buff really changed the matchup quite a bit, which is kind of funny just because you have to go for so many Fire Punches, so it actually matters quite a bit. And here they're going to have another ground tap in the back. And this is going to be very unfortunate. So, what do I think about the team? I did get one positive set and one negative set. That's kind of what I want to say with that one. I think I had a 3-2 and I had a 1-4. And basically, I felt like I got really unlucky with matchups. But I also felt like there were a lot of times where I needed to stay in my lead. And I didn't have a good answer in the back for a Pokemon that I encountered. And then I had a Mud Step in the back and I had just no chance anymore. Like, this is basically what happened most of the time. You need to kind of swap out no matter what with this team in order to have a solid play against Mud Slappers. Because your backline instantly loses against it. Even though they have like super effective coverage to it, they just get farmed down. Like, it doesn't really matter what you do with that one. So I feel like you either have to play this team quite a bit differently than what I did. But then again, like, for example, what do you do against a Talonflame lead? You have to stay in, right? You have like a Sandslash in the back. But Talonflame against Manabus is going to be so neutral that you're going to end up not having your lead anymore. What is if they have a Mud Slapper in the back? And that happened quite often for me with this team. And that's like my kind of criticism for it, and that is either down to me not knowing on how to play the team perfectly. I could be that there would be scenarios where the player that hit rank 1 in the world, of course, with this team, would have played it differently. But it could also be down to the meta being different a little bit further up compared to down here. Like, I'm not like far down, I'm like at 2,500 something. And I have some funny gameplay coming up as well. Hopefully I can get the video done for that today. Might be a new series that I want to do on the channel, so definitely stay tuned for that one. But yeah, this is kind of it for this one here. Like, I do think this team has potential. I think this team makes sense on paper. I do think it's a little bit problematic against a certain Pokemon. And with Marowak being everywhere today against me, which is usually not the case, it was very tough for me to deal with them. Like, I do think I had basically a way bigger amount of Mud Slappers against me than it's usual. Like, I do think I got really unlucky with this team. I definitely know that my first 4 battles were all losses with this team, and I had on every single one a Mud Slapper as my save stop against me. And I had like a neutral lead where I had to kind of stay in. So, like, that's the thing as well. Like, I just don't really know on how to deal with those situations. Like, I think it's a bit difficult for this team if you're going to end up in this situation. But is it like representing the team well if I showcase it? Like, here we should have got a fast move through, I think. That was also kind of annoying, I think. Or did I go for charge? Oh, wait, we went for the charge before I got. We just lost CMP tile. But yeah, I don't know on how much it's going to represent the team here if I show it like this, because yeah, I got unlucky with matchups, and that can happen to any team. So it doesn't mean that the team is bad. Absolutely not. But you would most likely need like a, I don't know, size of 10 sets or something to really see on how good a team actually is, because then you have a bigger sample size. And I just cannot, of course, do that with YouTube currently. But I hope that, by the way, I'm going to be able to go down to like 1 video a day eventually on the channel. I think that would be kind of better for it as well, because then I can put a bit more time in like the singular videos. But that's going to be something for the future, so there might be something for that as well. By the way, if you want me to support me as well and get something back at the same time, I'm offering coaching. Like, I'm offering coaching on Metafy. I have a lot of fun with that one recently as well. I do a lot of coaching there already, so like if you want to book some sessions, feel free to do that as well. I hit Legend in every single season that ever existed in Lego Battle League. I have not missed Legend a single time, and honestly, it was never really close that I didn't hit Legend or anything like this. Like, I always hit it way before. I think my fastest time I hit Legend was one time, nearly 2 months before the season ended, where I really try-harded. Actually, I didn't really try out that much, but like, I just had basically a cup or a team that I really liked, and that really went well for me. And I think the latest I hit it was like 3 weeks before the end of the season. So, like, for me, hitting Legend is not something I'm really worrying about. Again, what am I doing with the flying type animation? I don't know. For me, hitting Legend is nothing that I ever worry about. Like, literally, I'm not going to go into the season and be like, oh, I hope they hit Legend. For me, after now 22 seasons, hitting Legend every single season, I don't really have the fear for that one. I know like we're now 1 month in, and I'm at like 2,500 something, but I know that if I would just go for one team that I know would be strong, and I played it for like a day or 2, I would be most likely up somewhere in the middle of the leaderboard. So yeah, like for me, I'm not really too worried about this. But yeah, again, if you want to have some coaching, if you want to have some feedback for your battles, feel free to check out the link down below for Metafy, where I do coaching as well. Would really appreciate it. Anyway, we want to see here Golisopod. Golisopod is going to be an interesting Pokemon. We can let the move go through. We survive one. I just want to get damage onto them. They have 2 shields left. I don't really want to go for the crunch. I just want to go for the Awkward Tail. And I'm happy with the damage here, because all I really want is to win with my other Pokemon here. With my Flying Pokemon. It's called Mandibuzz, sorry. Mandibuzz is going to be able to farm down the Golisopod, which is really cool. Hopefully, at least. We have to let the move go through here. Golisopod does more damage than the Drapion ever will do, so we're always going to let the move go through here. An Awkward Jet does just way more than an Awkward Tail does, especially because it's Stab. So yeah, we're going to go for the full farm down, win the battle, and we can move on to the final one for today. Again, I really appreciate it when people post their top teams there online on Twitter as well, because it's always kind of nice to showcase them here on YouTube. I always enjoy this one, so when I say that this team didn't really work out for me, again, I gave reasons for this. I do think it was not down to the team. I think it was down to just being unlucky. That's basically it. That happens as well. bit of delay in swapping and stuff like this was today as well, though. Like, it was a bit tough sometimes. For example, I remember this one where I wanted to swap out way early and just didn't work because it was like a little bit of frame drops and stuff like this. But yeah, basically, this is going to be a team that still, I think, should be kind of solid if you want to play it yourself. You just have to be very careful with Mudslappers. Mudslappers is going to be quite a bit of a difficult one sometimes. Here we're going to have the Ice Punch coming through. We're going to be able to go for the Aerial Ace against the opponent. This is going to allow us to get the shield. We have the Clodseye coming in. We can go for the Dark Pulse. This is going to allow us to get some more damage onto them. It's going to be very good for us as well here. We're going to try our best to go for an Aerial Ace, but it doesn't work out. We let the move go through. Stone Edge is kind of annoying though. And now we have to be a bit careful because they, of course, know that they're going to have the Annihilate in the back. And I expect them to swap out any second here because at the end of the day, they could just go for the counter down against me. And like one counter does basically as much as I still have left. But I can go for the Ice Punch and I gotta see that they let the move go through and so I swap out straight away. And this was so needed because this will allow me to go for the Awkward Tail now. And this Awkward Tail is going to be great for me because I can go for another Crunch afterwards, as they already revealed they have Ice Punch, which would not be enough to knock us out. So they go for Rage Fist. Crunch is coming through, gonna get the KO, and this wins the battle because they're shieldless. We have Nice Punch stored, and this is going to be it for this video. Again, thanks so much for sending or like showing this team here on Twitter. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would really appreciate it as well if you would leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye bye.